My name's Stuart Armstrong. Apparently I'm the brainchild behind Deals For You. I like that term. Deals For You is a business that I started from scratch. There's not a retail business that's been bought or an internet business that I took over. It's a business that I started from zero. The idea came about for me when I was in retail. I've been in electrical retail for 20-odd years. Hard to believe, I know. What do you mean, no? Who said that? 20-odd years in the game, and I was finding that it was getting more and more difficult to compete with the stores that were getting bigger and bigger out of town. And I thought, well, we've got to find a new strategy. And then I was offered a chance to work in an internet business, which I grabbed because I thought, well, this will be something that's very interesting. I mean, I was a bit skeptical. I think most people are when they don't really understand something. They're always naturally skeptical that it's, oh, that's not going to work. That's not for me. That won't work with my business. My customers won't like that. And we all go through that process of sort of those sort of negative thoughts. So I thought, well, look, I've got an opportunity here. I'm going to try it. And my eyes were just open wide with the mass scale that is available to businesses. You can open up a whole wide area of market that wasn't there before. And it is fabulous. So I took that opportunity, and I learned so much. I did it for 12 months, and I learned so much about how people can make sales online. I mean, I thought it'll be 2 toasters and a jug kettle, and that'll be your lot, you know. But I was actually surprised when I got in there that they were doing, this was about 5-6 years ago, they were doing £50,000 a week, this particular company online. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. After 12 months of trading in that business, we had it to $250,000 a week in that business. So that is, and that was a few years ago. So it's an absolute massive opportunity. It opened my eyes wide open. I thought, well, I can do this, you know, as you do, you know, I can do that. And I went through the process of trying to think what would work and what we could do. And that's where I came up with this name, Deals For You. I was just, I don't know if you're aware, but online you can look through these sort of sites that tell you about web names that are available. And you can put in all sorts of bizarre things, .com. I know Richard puts a few bizarre ones in, but we'll not go into that. And I was just trying a few things, and I put in, I was thinking about, you know, like appliances and, you know, washing machines and all these sort of things. And I thought, well, what about that? And I stuck that in, and it came up that it was available. And I couldn't quite believe it because I thought someone's bound to already have that. And it was available. So I grabbed it. It cost me £9 to set up that web name. And then I started to think, well, actually, Deals For You, that could be anything. It doesn't have to be just appliances or, you know, kettles and toasters. It can be anything. Deals For You could be anything. And that's where it really got me thinking that this could be a whole network of things, not just what I know, which is electrical appliances. It can be a whole range of things. So that's really where the whole strategy started. What I did was I set up the company, fully intending to obviously get out there on the internet and take over the world, and got my website set up, got my deals in place as best I could. When you're going to suppliers with absolutely nothing, only a story to tell them. Different when you're going to them with a budget of 50 million. I'm going to spend all this money with you. It's slightly different than when you go and I've got a great idea and you're going to love it, but I've no guaranteed sales to give you. It's a bit different. So went in with that ethos and set it up from scratch. And when we started, we were in a porta cabin in Carryduff. Not that there's anything wrong with porta cabins or Carryduff, but high-tech business not when we started. And really, very much, I liked what Richard was saying. It doesn't really matter what the reality is. I mean, I often said, thank God we don't have a webcam. Because if our customers from Cardiff and Glasgow and London and all whatever were like, you know, expecting this sort of massive business, and they could see 2 idiots, 2 PCs, and a porta cabin, it would probably kind of kill the moment, you know. So we worked hard on our exterior, how we presented ourselves, how professional we were. I'll just put you through to sales. Just changed my mind. Yes, hello, sales. it just gave the impression, and people would often phone up and say, you know, thanks for helping me. How will I get you again? I said, oh, you asked for Stuart. There's only one Stuart here. Now, I wasn't lying. The fact I was the only bloke in the place doesn't matter. There was only one Stuart, and it was me. So from that perspective, what Richard was saying was absolutely right. It didn't matter what was behind, it was what was in front. And that's what we really started with, and that's how we built our business up. We're currently trading about £3 million on the internet, and we serve all the UK, not just Ireland. We do all of GB. Okay, so that's really the background of where our story started. As I said, I very much am from that ilk, 20 years in retail, and internet isn't that different to ordinary retailing, not really. Your presentation on your website is like if you have a shop. People walk in to your shop, they expect to see nice products, well labeled, well priced, and you know, clean. When they come onto your website, they want to see nice pictures, they want to see information about the product, they want to know a bit about what it does and whatever. When you deal with a salesperson in the shop, you expect to be treated nicely, you expect to be treated with respect, you expect the idiot to know what they're talking about, which is quite difficult. I don't know if anybody's had that experience, but it's quite difficult to find someone who knows what they're talking about. And we've basically taken all those ethics from a traditional retail business and put them into our internet business. And that's really where the whole thing and the experience has come from. And it really allows you to reach out to new markets. If you've got a shop in a town, you know, in Ballyclare or somewhere, you have only got a very small market to play to. If your business is online, you suddenly have a huge market to play to, not just the three people and a dog who walk through your shop on a Tuesday afternoon. You've actually got an opportunity to appeal to a much wider audience. The other thing that appealed to me was that you could have lower overheads versus a higher sales potential. So you can obviously make more sales, but you can keep your costs very low. And that was very important because obviously being on the internet naturally means it's a more competitive business. I mean, we compete against some huge businesses. I mean, some of these guys are multi-billion-pound businesses. And what we have to do is be creative in terms of how we deal with that. It also provides a lovely additional marketing for your brand. If you're more of a traditional business, it's a great way to actually promote your brand very, very reasonably in terms of cost. You can't do it for zero, but you can certainly keep the cost to a controllable level, which I think is excellent.